going YouTube bonus video for today because it's story time, but it's a special story time because it's barefoot flip-flop story time, just to make all the super truckers mad who think that the only proper footwear to use when you're trucking is a boot that makes your feet sweat and stink. I know there are boots out there that exist that breathe properly and don't make your feet stink, but it's almost summertime, and I like letting my feet breathe when I'm driving. It's just more comfortable. That's while I'm driving. When I'm actually working outside the truck, I do it smart. I actually wear closed-toed shoes or boots because that's just intelligent, especially when I'm fueling. Anyway, story time. So yesterday evening, I arrived at my delivery in Kentucky because I'm still doing JB Hunt Power Only right now, and so I had a delivery to the Dollar General facility, or a Dollar General facility, a distribution center in Kentucky. Pretty straightforward job. I'd been there before, so I knew I figured, okay, I'm going to show up early because I'm going to expect the place to be busy. The guard checks to be busy. They're going to have a lot of trucks coming in Sunday evening, Sunday night to get offloaded so that they have, whatever they're missing for the coming week or the coming month in certain products filled. That's what all these trucks are going to be doing. They're going to be stacking up a bunch of trucks for deliveries and going to fill all of their unload doors at around 8 o'clock. Because my appointment time was scheduled for 8 o'clock. Okay, good. So I got there about hour and 45 minutes early. So I'm way ahead of schedule. But then again, it was a short hop from where I overnighted, and I was getting stir crazy. Like, let's just get down there, and I'll check in. I'll be there. If there's any problems, get them worked out, and then I can just park and wait for them to call me and give me my door assignment. No problem at all. Turns out, there had been a glitch on the JB Hunt side of things, and the confirmation for my appointment did not get properly set up. So JB Hunt didn't get from Dollar General the information they needed in order to confirm that in JB Hunt system, and then return that from JB Hunt system to Dollar General, so that Dollar General would know that yes, this truck is coming in confirmed at this time with this PO. This is the confirmation number. Glitches happen. And this is one of those glitches that came up, and it just about derailed my entire week. So, Dollar General gives that information that all the deliveries need in order to be confirmed. And the dispatch has to give that to the driver. The driver gives that to the guard check. The guard check then loads up the chain and makes sure it's good. And when it's all good, they tell you, go here and park. We'll get your door when we are ready for you. Straightforward process. However, somehow, some way, JB Hunt did not return to Dollar General the information they needed in order to get that confirmation number sent to JB Hunt, which can then be returned to Dollar General to confirm my appointment. So JB Hunt, or Dollar General, has no idea I'm coming in. And they say, well, we can't give you a door until we have a confirmation, and we need to make sure that we actually have you scheduled so that our unload folks know that they have you on their list of trucks to handle this evening. All right, how do we do that? I asked them. Guard check tells me, here are the numbers for our appointment staff. They are on duty, they are working, they are available, and have your dispatch call them and get this appointment set up, and then as soon as we can get the confirmation number, get you in, and we'll try to get you unloaded tonight. I said, okay, no problem. So I go back to my truck, call it up to dispatch, tell them what's going on, give them the information, they say we're on it, and then off they go. And then, so I'm waiting, I wait about an hour, give or take, to see if anything pops up in my email or if they call me. And then right about, just like a couple minutes before 8 o'clock, I check my email and I see they've got, JB Hunt got back to me, they said that the next available delivery opportunity was going to be today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was like, this is very poor. Though in reality, I wasn't near that calm. I just about exploded on the poor overnight support guy I was speaking to last night when this information came through. And I had to really work to bite back a whole lot of spew that poor fellow did not need to hear from me, because quite honestly, it wasn't his fault this is a problem that I was dealing with. It was someone else in another department entirely who either didn't catch the glitch or had just plain out dropped the ball. Now, it's important to recognize that these things do happen from time to time, and it's important also to remember to work the problem when they come up. And it's just as important as you're working the problem and recognizing this problem can exist, it is just as important not to explode on anyone unnecessarily, because that will only make the problem worse. So keeping my temper in check, biting back just a litany of expletives and truly horrific language. I asked the overnight guy, it's like, all right, what's the real situation here? Is there any chance we get it tonight? You know, what are the opportunities here? They said, look, this is the best we got. Here's the confirmation number that we have, that we got from Dollar General. As far as we know, this is the best we can do. What we are doing to help you out is we're reaching out to your pickup for tomorrow morning, which was this morning, to see if they can push your pickup window to later in the afternoon so you don't have your schedule for this week disrupted beyond just this delayed unload and then a delayed pickup. I said, all right, well, that's fair enough. Hopefully these folks will be willing to work with us. He said, hopefully they will, but we won't know until the morning when they come out when they come online, and then we'll go from there. So I go back to the guard check. I tell them, okay, this is the confirmation number. This is what they're telling me. It's going to be 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And I asked them, is there any possibility that the folks doing the unloads tonight can work me in at some point? The guard shack, the guys there were real nice. They're real polite, because I made sure to give them that same politeness, to treat them with due respect, because it wasn't their fault this was a problem. They're not the people who deal with the appointments. They're just a link in the chain. So I asked them, I was like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I got information-wise. Is there any chance that your guys in the warehouse can work some magic and get me in? I didn't demand, didn't holler, didn't scream, didn't swear at him. I just asked politely, please, would you please have mercy on me? And he said, and he was honest, he said, I'll call it up. I'll talk to the warehouse guys. I cannot make you any promises. If, depending on how busy they are, how many trucks they've already got in the schedule, the people who actually had confirmed appointments, they might be able to work you in. You may have to wait because they're still dealing with some stuff from left over from first shift, so, it may not work out. It's like, okay, well, it's the best you can do. Let me know either way. I'm just going to be ready to go no matter what, and then we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping for the best here. So the guard says, yeah, same here, because, this sucks. So, yep, so I went back to my truck and I waited. And I'm figuring as the hours are going by that it's like, all right, the warehouse is stacked up, they're too busy, or they're shorthanded, or they didn't have enough staff scheduled for this evening because they already had their truck allotment figured out, and they didn't bring on more staff to handle work-ins or problem loads, which mine would qualify for both problem load and a work-in. Then at midnight, get a phone call from the guard shack saying, hey, are you the JB Hunt driver who's had this appointment issue? I was like, yep, that's me. He said, well, come on down to the guard shack. We have a door for you. I was like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. So I got to give props and due thanks to the folks at Dollar General who were very nice in working me in and getting me unloaded, because they enabled me to stay on schedule. And I cannot underscore how much I appreciate that. And also for the folks on the JB Hunt side who did their best within the limits of their power to try to work the problem on their end. Even if they couldn't give me a sooner official appointment time, at least trying to communicate with my next pickup so that I could stay on the schedule that I had selected for this week. And it turns out everything ended well. I got unloaded this morning by 1:30 a.m. I was able to finish up my 7-3 split break, and then I got on the road to my pickup this morning, and I arrived there on time and surprised the guy when I walked in. He's like, wait a minute, you're this pickup number? I was like, yep, that's me. I'm going up to this place. He's like, wow, we just got email saying you were going to be here until late tonight or early tomorrow morning. And I was like, well, good news is it all worked out for me at my other delivery. They managed to get me in, get me unloaded, so here I am. It's like, all right, this is great. It was a drop and hook situation. It's like, all right, well, your trailer is in this door, so put your empty in this door, and then here's paperwork, sign here, and off you go. It's like, all right, great, thank you so much. And off I went, dropped and hooked, and here we are, rolling along. So, all that to say, again, thank you to Dollar General and JB Hunt for working the problem and doing what they could on my behalf to keep things rolling and also to get me unloaded, especially at Dollar General. They didn't have to, but I do really appreciate it. And when I spoke with my dispatch coordinator this morning and we talked about the problem, he's like, yeah, you don't realize how unusual this is. This is Dollar General we're dealing with here. They normally don't do this. Like, if this problem happens, usually we get screwed. And I was like, well, I don't know what to say except I was polite. And he says, yeah, that probably turned the tide right there, being polite to him. And, you know, yeah, we just had Easter a few weeks ago, but Jesus did say a soft answer turns away wrath. And if you work the problem like a mature adult with the folks you're working with, and you just communicate and you do what you can on your end, and you cooperate with the limitations on the other person's end, yeah, not every problem gets solved this beautifully, but a lot of them can be. So it's always important to give appropriate grace and be polite to the folks who are dealing with your problem when it was not their fault. You have that problem to begin with. And my dispatch was like, yeah, I wish a lot more drivers would have that same attitude. They probably would have a lot fewer problems on the road. And I'm like, yep. And then I told them, like, yeah, you know, I gave them grace because it wasn't their fault, but I gotta tell you, I had some, before this all got resolved, I had some extremely choice words for the folks at JB Hunt who let this problem happen in the first place. And I told them, again, politely, it's like, look, I'm an owner-operator. I am out here at my sufferance. JB Hunt does not have any systems in place to accommodate me or cover me or support me or compensate me to the appropriate degree that would offset money and other revenue lost for doing my part, and yet being completely shafted by someone in some other department who just did not get their job done all the way properly. And he's like, I hear you, and I don't know if he's going to pass up the chain or not, but I hope he does, because if you happen to work in dispatch or you set appointments for pickups and deliveries, you know, it's very important, especially when you're dealing with owner-operators. Not all of us have long fuses. Like, I like to think my fuse is longer than most, especially when I'm dealing with folks who I know my problems are not their problems. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to accept crappy treatment or faulty setups more than once or twice in a great while. I'm doing my part to be on time, to communicate issues, to make sure that I'm taking care of JB Hunt's customers, because I want to treat them like they're my customers. And I want my customers, I don't care whose trailer it is, I want my customers to get the best possible service that I can provide them as a company man, as an owner-operator, as a businessman, because that just will follow me into the future. Positive karma, good vibes, whatever you want to call it. That will follow me. And I can't do that if the company for whom I am working with or pulling freight for isn't doing their part. And now I've got to say thank you to JB Hunt, because this is one of those just rare, once in a blue moon occasions that just happened to catch me at the wrong time. It could have been bad, but ended up not being bad, so it all ended up working out just fine. But it's also why it's important not to lose your head when these things happen, because there's no guarantee that I would have been taken care of this morning if I'd have yelled and screamed and hollered at the guard shack or the overnight support staff at JB Hunt. There's no guarantee of that. So I'm going to just go ahead and believe that because I treated everyone with, if not appropriate grace, at least withholding my foul attitude and language from them who did not deserve it, that contributed to my good luck this morning getting this load delivered. And now I'm back on schedule and everything is where it's supposed to be, at least so far, for the rest of my week. And with that being said, YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you down the road.